military veterans. My mom is a Desert Storm veteran, and my father also served in the Air Force as an assistant fire chief. It is not uncommon for their daughter to also follow suit in public service. In the past, I've served in Washington, D.C. under President's administration at the Peace Corps. And I served with Alliance Defending Freedom, working to protect our religious liberties throughout the country. And currently, I serve as an international developer, working to build churches and orphanages all over the world. Why am I serving on the school board? I'm serving in this capacity because our children need to be protected. Children have all their lives to make adult decisions. And while they are in school, their focus needs to be on having strong skills. So when they graduate, they can have great jobs and live successful lives. And so I decided to run for re-election, and I have an incredible race ahead of me that I've been running. You see, I'm running in a district that, votes mostly liberal, but I'm earning the love and respect of the people in my community. And my opponent is playing politics and working to attach all kinds of things to me from national political avenues that have nothing to do with my record of serving the community in a nonpartisan way. I have a lot of Title I schools in my district, and I want to be sure to address their needs because it seems that in the past, my district has been overlooked. And so I want to make sure that we have resources that are equally distributed to my district. And I also want to make sure that our children are reading on grade level. Why are we focusing on sexuality when we have children that cannot read on grade level? So I look forward to this conversation that we're going to get to have because I truly need your support in this race. I have two candidates that I'm running against, which gives me a good chance of securing this race, but campaigns take funding. Since I've been appointed to this role for the first time in 10 years, the Conservatives took the majority on the Virginia Beach City School Board. I need your help, Patriots, so that we can hold that majority. Because the times and the challenges that our children face require men and women who will stand and defend them and protect them. And you can be a part of that in the largest city in the state of Virginia. Virginia school system has been no stranger to national news. You've probably heard about some of the issues that our schools have faced in Northern Virginia and Fairfax with a fellow named Tanner. We want to make sure that we don't have those kind of stories coming out of the city of Virginia Beach. We're well known for our top-notch academics and just quality education. And I want to help to maintain that standard. So I look forward to the discussion with you. If you want to know more about me, visit ShannonKendrickVB.com, ShannonKendrickVB.com, and feel free to reach out to me. And if you feel so moved, drop a $25 donation or anything you can do to help, because I need to take my competition aside and win this race. Well, God bless you and God bless America.
Welcome. That's a good picture back there.
Hey, Gary.
We've actually known each other for a while through Facebook and that, actually. So I remember when you, maybe you can name drop here. You used to work for some congressmen and this and that, right?
Yeah. So 20, gosh, well, before I worked for the congressman, I worked with the National College Republicans, and that's how I came to Virginia, working at all the colleges to grow college Republicans. And then I went to Regent University and started working in the Robertson School of Government, became the assistant director of the Robertson School of Government. And then I was poached by an up and coming congressman who I helped on his campaign, and he invited me to apply for a position on his staff, and I became the district chief of staff, running the district operations over 700,000 individuals in our district, Virginia's second congressional district, but with the largest concentration of military in the nation. We have SEAL teams 2, 4, and 6 here. The largest naval base, Oceana. I mean, this district is incredible, and I got a chance to run that and represent.
Do you know someone named Richard Black? He retired. Do you know him?
That name doesn't ring a bell right off. How would I know it?
He was in Virginia State Senate.
Okay.
He was conservative. Someone that it's come on my channel a lot of times, so I thought maybe you knew him.
He might be in a different part of Virginia, a really large state, and
yeah, he was up near Fairfax, and it kept becoming more and more liberal over time, and eventually he just retired rather than go through a real nail biter type elections up there. You know, that's pretty tough up there in Fairfax. That's a liberal area. So you've run into a lot of what they're doing in these schools to these kids, what they're teaching them.
Yeah, you know, I think COVID was a curse, but also a blessing, right? For the first time, parents really got to see what the school system was teaching their children nationwide. You know, our Department of Education, you know, they set a standard of curriculum for the entire nation. And then, you know, you also have the state the education departments as well, and then the city curriculums that are decided. And you know, I think parents were seeing for the first time that some things were being taught that didn't necessarily align with their values. And you know, I think it caused a lot of parents to take a closer look and ask a lot of questions. And I think it's a good thing. I truly do.
Yeah. Someone, I'm going to bring it up on the screen. I tried to copy and paste it over. Vivi asked about, maybe you can read it there. I don't know.
What about the Edgar Cayce money in Virginia Beach that runs things, or the Rock Church pastor that got off on pedo charges when absolutely no one else did? How do you combat that old money? Well, that doesn't.
Do you know about this?
I know about the pastor with Rock Church. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I heard about that. I saw that, and I was shocked to see that, you know, because I will tell you, Rock Church is not as big of a church or as prominent of a church as it was maybe 20 years ago in its heyday. But I you know, I roll around in the church circles out here, and I did see that, and that was quite alarming. But, you know, as a school board member, that's not my job to combat that money. That, you know, that's none of that is associated with the school system. So I don't exactly know how to answer that question.
Well, they would use it against you, I bet.
I'm sorry?
They would use that money against you, I bet.
I'm sorry, I don't think so.
Oh, they wouldn't use that to run against you?
No, that's not
okay.
associated. I don't think that's associated with me at all.
Oh, okay. I thought it would be used against you. That's what I was thinking. I thought that's what you meant by that. That's okay. Anyways, so you've been in there 6 months. Did you guys get anything passed that was really good and for the kids and change things for the good? And stop bad things from happening.
Well, you know what? Let's talk about big government, okay?
Sure.
Most people know that with the school systems, most school systems, especially the Virginia Beach City Public Schools, we are not able to raise our own tax revenue. So the funding that we get comes from the state, comes from the federal government, and oftentimes, or there comes a lot of unfunded mandates. And so
strings.
Yeah, unfunded mandates. So that if the federal government or the state government tells us that we need to do something, but they won't give us the money to do it. Or in this case, with the Virginia Employment Commission, during the pandemic, and this was nationwide, y'all, there was a lot of people that filed unemployment claims with the states. And so it turns out, I guess the state did their investigating or whatever they needed to do. And then they had a lot of money that they found that they paid out. And then they tried to pass the bill to our school boards to pay. And it's like, how are we even responsible for any of this? And so they wanted to make a demand on us paying to them. And we were able to work with our attorney general's office and some state senators to stop that. But that would have taken away so much money, near $1 million away from our student activities budget. And it's just so sad that bureaucracy, higher levels of government would tax a small school system like that because they I guess they didn't handle their responsibilities or due diligence enough to not pay out claims that they shouldn't have been claiming or paying. We've been working on our gifted program. We have a school that's for the gifted, and there weren't enough seats for some of the gifted children that qualified to be in the gifted school. So we recently converted a classroom to open up 26 more seats so that more students could be a part of it. So like I said, I've only been on the board for about 5, almost 6 months. And, we're hiring a lot of new great teachers. We are making sure that our academics and curriculum remain top notch. We just had some amazing graduations. So,
well, you were getting the grades up. Well, I know you've only had 6 months, but that's the direction you're trying to head. Because a lot of these schools like New York City and Los Angeles and they like less than 10% can really read.
Yeah, the literacy level, it's unfortunate. Again, the pandemic caused a lot of our kids to fall below their grade level, and some even before the pandemic even came, that was an issue. So grades 3 through 9, a good percent, a significant amount of our kids are still reading below grade level. And while those numbers have improved, we still have work to do. And so for me, before coming to the school board, I served on a board called the Life Enrichment Center. And that board works to improve literacy rates for K through 2nd grade. Statistics show, and I believe it's kind of known, that jails are built based upon literacy rates at third or 4th grade. So if a child is not reading at grade level by the 3rd or 4th grade, that the chances of them getting in trouble down the line, the statistics don't look too good. So it's important to catch these kids early on with improving their reading.
Well, with all the fentanyl coming into the country, it's making it even worse, actually. They're pushing it on the kids and getting into all that. Is drug use an issue in the schools much in Virginia?
Oh, my goodness. So, we have been working on building a school that helps children who might have some addictions. We secured some funding for that, and so that we can start that program.
You guys could use more flexibility with the funding. Like your schools might be different than in another state and stuff too. As probably would be helpful if you had more flexibility, right? For the federal.
Yeah. We've gotten some funds, a jewel grant that helps us with putting a school together that would help our kids, get off of substances and help them with abuse. But what's going on? A lot of these kids are vaping. I mean, vaping. vaping. I went
That
to
means that smoking pipe thing.
those little plastic devices, and I guess
They
there's
put stuff in it though.
yeah, they suck some sort of I guess it's a nicotine derivative. I don't even understand the whole vape culture, but it's a big deal. And I just toured a school in my district on Friday, and they just showed me a big box of vapes that they had confiscated from students that tried to sneak them into the school. Like, these kids are genuinely addicted to this vaping. And you know, when we were growing up, and I know that you and I have a significant age difference.
Yeah.
I'm 45, by the way, and I'm proud to say I just turned 45. I know I don't look it.
Yeah, you don't. You're a lot younger.
But you know, I was born in the late 70s, and you know, the thing was cigarettes and marijuana that a lot of the kids smoked. But I don't understand, you know, why. I mean, do they think vaping is somehow healthier and it doesn't have the same impact on their lungs like nicotine does? I don't know, but a lot of kids are doing it, and that's kind of concerning.
I don't know why you can't copy and paste it. Some people want to share this over here. I'm sorry. Yeah, endorsements. You got some pretty good endorsements out there.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So one thing about Virginia Beach City Public School Board races, as well as the city council races, they're nonpartisan. And so I wanted to stick to running a race that's nonpartisan. My district is predominantly, it's a minority majority district. And so, but what's happened is I'm running against two Democrats. We're all African-American ladies. And one of the Democrats has gotten endorsements by all the Democrat elected officials, from city council to state senate and so on and so forth.
Well, I don't think they have the resume you have.
Well, their resume, she's a doctor. And she's been in education. She's been a teacher, but she's also been a bureaucrat. She's worked in the school system as a student support specialist for 17 years. But, you know, when I talk to the parents and the kids who have gone through the system, they don't really feel like they got that much support. So I don't know what she was doing. But the thing about administrators is they look out for the administration rather than the people. And so, you know, that's great. I applaud all of her experience and accomplishments, but the issues that we're facing on our school board are fiscal and legislative in nature. And that's my background. I have an MBA. I'm a business owner. I've balanced budgets. I understand revenues and budget allocations. I'm a fiscal conservative. I ran a congressional district, and I was very responsible with taxpayer money. I
succeeded in everything you've done.
Well, I've done a lot with everything that I've been responsible for, you know, in the leadership roles that I have. You know, I know the value of a dollar, a government dollar, and the people that's behind it. It's not free money. People paid for this with their taxes. You know, we took this money away from the citizens to do work for the citizens with this money. We can't be wasteful. We need to be smart. We need to do things on time and on budget and in a fiscally responsible way. And we've got a lot of infrastructure priorities that we're trying to address right now on the school board. One of the schools in my district, Betty F. Williams, built in 1961. The floors are you know, bent. There's flooding when it rains. There's all kinds of things going on in that school. And
did they have heat issues there too, or was that, I'm thinking of a different area? Heat issues during the winter, where the schools were cold because they were too cold or something.
No, we live in a beach community, so we're on the border of North Carolina. I mean, it gets cold here, but it doesn't get that cold.
Okay.
But what I was saying was, we have a school that really needs attention. We need to look at, you know, either, you know, rebuilding the school. We've got projects on a list of schools that need to have repairs, and every day that we wait to make a decision on which school, with inflation, it gets more and more expensive. And so I'm working to help find solutions to get as many of these projects done on time, on budget, and with the best fiscal responsibility that we could apply to those projects, because all of our kids in the city of Virginia Beach deserve to have great learning environments. And so I don't want any of our children to have to, be in the conditions that I described.
Oh yeah. And sometimes their home life is not wealth-wise, parents in the home. And someone asked conservative to liberals balance. Actually, you got one more conservative than you do liberals on the board right now. I think that's what he was asking. I don't think he was. I know that your area is a deep blue area, but the board is different.
Okay, yeah. So the school board itself. So let me just go back and kind of explain how I even got into this situation. I started off this year working for the ministry that I work for. I build churches all over the world, and I work with donors, and I help them. I take them to go see what they've built overseas. It's an incredible work that I get to do. And then the person who was in this school board seat needed to retire, get out early. And so it called for a special appointment. People in my district called me. I had just moved to Virginia Beach a few years prior. Shannon, did you know there's a vacancy on the school board? They're looking for someone to appoint. Would you consider it? I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm done with politics. And so then I said, well, maybe I'll go ahead and put my hat in the ring and see what happens. And so I did. And I was selected for that appointment at the end of March. Well, I had my first school board session in April. And what I didn't realize was, with my appointment, for the first time in 10 years, the Republicans have the majority on the school board in the city of Virginia Beach with my appointment. Yeah. And so we want to keep that, because I think the work that we're able to do with applying our values would really help to solve a lot of the challenges that we're dealing with today on the school for the division. So I'm looking forward to working with my colleagues, but I am in a district that does not vote for Republicans usually. I'm in a blue district, but there are several of my precincts that do vote red. And so with this new climate, a lot of people are kind of tired of what's been, and they want to take a look at what conservatives are talking about, because Jerry,
they've never heard from you, right?
Well, Jerry, a lot of people are hurting. They're
financially.
They're hurting in all kinds of ways. They're losing a lot of confidence and faith in the things that they've put confidence and faith in. A lot of people trusted that Biden and Kamala were going to do great things for the country. Well, we're all seeing how that's turning out, right? Mm-hmm. People are hurting, and it's like they're wanting to try something different. Desperate times call for desperate measures. But I also believe that people want people in place who care about them. People who will do the work, not just take the title, not just be in position,
make a lot of money,
and not do the work.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but my opponent, the one that's gotten all these endorsements from the Democrats, for 17 years, that's what she's done. She's sat and she's taken the title, but she's not made an impact.
No, you got a three-way race where two of them are Democrats, so that should help you and get elected.
That definitely should help me. If I could finish my point, I have a proven track record of delivering results and making an impact in everything that I've done. And I have been endorsed by Secretary Karen Merrick. She is the Secretary of Commerce and Trade. You see, for the state of Virginia. And so that's not a partisan seat. So see, after I left the congressman's office, he retired early. I went on to be the senior vice president of the Hampton Roads Economic Development Alliance. So I worked to bring jobs to the region. And then after I did that, I started my own business, Kendrick Consulting Group. And then after I did that, I was appointed to Washington, D.C. under the Trump administration to work for the Peace Corps. And I worked for the Peace Corps for 3 years. I also worked on the Opportunity Zones, the HBCU Executive Committee, the First Step Act. I've done a lot nationally to help advance the African American community in our country. And
conservative ones, especially.
No, all African Americans in our country.
Yeah, I know, but it seems like the ones that are around you are conservative. It seems like.
So the work that I have done impacts the entire nation.
True.
So the First Step Act, it's criminal justice reform. It impacts everyone in the nation. You know, there's a lot of people who are put away for things that are small. Like now that marijuana is legal in so many places, there's people doing time for possession of marijuana. Like that's crazy. But then there's also, you know, Trump even talks about it, how the HBCUs, and for those of you who don't know, that's historically black colleges and universities. They would come to the White House every year asking for their annual funding. And Trump was like, how about I just fund you 10 years at a time and you don't have to keep coming back? You know, so
that makes more sense.
Trump did that for all the historically black colleges and universities in the entire country. And it's so crazy how he doesn't get credit for that. But no other president ever did that. And then opportunity zones, helping communities that have disparities develop businesses, put small businesses in place. I mean, people need to know that so much was done for the Black community under the Trump administration, not to mention the fact that the economy was just booming. And so we all were doing well economically under the last administration. And I just find it so crazy that people want to apply the experience from the pandemic to the entire presidency that Trump had, as if the stock markets weren't going through the roof, as if the economy wasn't doing incredibly well, as if we weren't as safe as we've ever been, the gas prices as low as they've ever been, the employment rate as high as it's ever been. I mean, it's crazy how people just quickly ignore those things. But I know what we did because I was there. I was sitting at the table and I was helping to make those things happen for our country. And I just wish President Trump would talk more about all the great work that he did. And, you know, maybe he just, you know, because he's done so much, he doesn't really want to brag or feel like he's touting his I don't know.
Well, it seems like he's always under attack, though, every time he brings anything up, though. It seems like it.
Yeah, you know, he doesn't get enough credit. My girlfriend that I grew up with and went to high school with, she worked for President Trump. And at the time, she'd always call him Mr. Trump. And I remember how she would say, you know, every time I changed jobs, Mr. Trump would always let me use him as a reference. And, you know, she struggled with her family and he always helped her and her husband. Trump is really a good guy. And, you know, there's a lot of stories of how he's helped a lot of people. But he unfortunately gets a bad rap because he's not part of the system. He isn't a part of the system. And yeah, he might, you know, be so straight up and say things that are wild sometimes. But at the end of the day, he knows how to get it done. He doesn't mess around. He's a businessman. And, you know, he sees a problem and he solves it. That's what people in business do. And that's what I bring to the school board, is somebody that sees a challenge, sees a problem. I know how to work through all levels of government to solve that problem. I know how to work across the aisle to get initiatives done. I know how to do advocacy, constituent services, lobbying. I'm pretty eloquent. You give me something that I need to talk about, I will talk about it and drive the point home and do it with a smile until I get what's needed. And when I set my sights on something, Jerry, I don't relent. And I want to be a champion for my district because I'm sick of them seeing people on during election time coming to our churches giving all these false hopes and false promises, and then they leave and they don't come back and they don't do anything that they said they were going to do. Well, I'm not that type of leader. I spoke in a church today, an African-American church. About 300 people were in attendance. And I shared with them what I'm working on for them, what I intend to do, why I'm here. I don't even want to be involved in politics. I thought I would just do this term and finish at the end of this year and be done. But then when I got in and I saw the work that needed to be done, I said, you know what? These people need a champion. And if they give me a chance, a Republican, a chance to do this work for them, it will get done. And they will understand the heart of conservatives. Conservatives and Republicans, we've been lied on. I've been a Republican since 2004. Okay. I've been around and been doing this for a long time. I've held very high positions. I've worked very low positions, but throughout everything that I've done as a Republican, a Black Republican in America, I've never once been asked to do something because of the color of my skin. I have always been asked to do the work that I've done because I'm qualified to do it, because I'm able to do it, because I have talent, skill, ability, and a hard work ethic. That's why I was asked to do.
How are the other board members working with you? Have they been good?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So apparently before I got on the board, the school board was nuts. There was a lot of political fighting going back and forth, the left against the right. I mean, it was nuts apparently. Bunch of showboating and just all kinds of stuff. And when people knew that I was putting my hat in the ring to be appointed, they're like, are you crazy? You want to be a part of that mess? And I'm like, oh my God, I mess. So anyway, since I've been on the board, I bring a collegial spirit to the board. I love everybody that's on my board. We don't have to agree politically, but I respect what everyone brings. We've got incredible teachers. We've got an incredible businesswomen who were on the board, and men who, you know, I don't always agree with, but they bring so much value to the conversation in helping us to get to a solution that works well for our entire city. Our city is so diverse in political affiliation, in age, in demographic. You know, we need every single person's viewpoint to properly serve the needs and the desires of the children and the families that, you know, we're elected to serve in our districts. And so, yeah, my superintendent said, you know what, Shannon, I know you just want to serve this term and this appointment and be done, but you really need to consider running, because the children and the families, the 64,000 children in Virginia Beach could really use someone like you to serve them. You know, he heard the questions that I asked when I go visit the schools. You know, I have a real heart for this. And, you know, I really love being a servant leader. It's about servant leadership.
Have you been able to meet many of the parents and stuff like that at your what do you have, school board meetings, and do the parents go to those, or is that those just for school board members?
Yeah, the parents, they're able to speak in a public comment section of our school board meetings, and they share their views. We also, you know, it's open to people to watch online. Anybody could watch our school board sessions online. And you could also come and sit and watch in the gallery. So yeah, they're very open and accessible. And I have to say, you know, there's a lot of parents get involved, but unfortunately in my district, you know, a lot of Title I kids, their families, they come from maybe a single parent home, or both parents are working. It's really hard for them to be able to come and have their voices heard at the dais. So I go to the community. I talk with the pastors. I go to, you know, the grocery stores. And I talked to 2 kids today. I was at a gas station, and one of them went to one of my schools. And I said, well, tell me what do you think about the school that you go to? And he was just, you know, it's so funny. The kids are always talking to me about the food. But he told me, he said, you know, I really like my school. I like my school. Bayside 6 is a pretty good school. And he said, I just wish we had more to drink than just milk and water. And then another kid said, you know, I wish we could have wings. I like wings.
Oh,
So
like chicken wings?
yeah, chicken wings. It's really cute. But I love our kids. I mean, we have some bright kids, and Virginia Beach City Public Schools is one of the top schools in the entire state, the entire Commonwealth. So we have a great school, but there's always room for improvement. And I want to be more accessible to my district and understand the particular things that matter to them and see how I could best serve them and have the school system best serve them.
Yeah, it was the lieutenant governor that endorsed you.
Yes, Lieutenant Governor Winsome Sears. She is one of my really, really good friends, and I've known her for years. She's also a Regent University graduate. That's where I got my MBA. That's where I was assistant director of the Robertson School of Government. I helped with her lieutenant governor race. I did a fundraiser for her. It was a really good fundraiser. Brought in
I'm very impressed with her as well as yourself.
Yeah, I brought in Jennifer Carroll and Carol Swain. Dr. Carol Swain came in, and oh man, we had an incredible virtual meeting for her. But Winsome Sears just announced that she's running for governor for the state of Virginia. She just announced it last week.
Now, in Virginia, they can only serve one term, right?
Yep, that's it.
Oh, that's a shame.
I know. So Governor Glenn Youngkin, he's fantastic. He's been doing a great job. I mean, I'm sure going to miss him. And he came so close to being the number 2 pick for President Trump as his VP.
Oh,
it was down to Vance and Glenn Youngkin.
They needed the Midwest vote. That's why.
Well, it's interesting because both of them, like Trump had his list, and as on that day when he was going to announce, he would call each of them and let them know, like, sorry, you're not it, you're not it, you're not it, you're not it. And so, we were keeping up with the you're not it's. And then the last 2 that didn't get the you're not it's were Youngkin and Vance. And so Vance got the pick, but Youngkin was pretty close. So I'm interested to see what Governor Youngkin is going to do next after this. I feel like he might have a strong political future ahead of him. He's got a heart of gold, y'all. He is a real man who loves God and loves country and loves people. And his wife, Suzanne Youngkin, I do a lot of events with her. She is just an amazing woman who's just so humble. Like, they do not make any airs about them at all. They're really good people. We are really blessed.
Well, they say what they're thinking too. I like that, and that they don't try to beat around the bush when they speak. I like that.
Oh yeah, and they don't do it in a nasty way at all.
No.
Everything they do is pretty meaningful. Governor Youngkin and Suzanne Youngkin, as well as Lieutenant Governor Winsome Sears, and our amazing Attorney General Jason Miyares. Awesome. I mean, we have the dream team for leadership in the state of Virginia.
Now, is your state swinging more blue or more red?
Well, okay. So in 2010, I'd say it was pretty blue. I'm sorry, not blue, pretty red. And then after we had the situation with Governor Bob McDonnell, who's also a good friend, I think the Democrats really took advantage of that and secured the seat and held on to it for 2 terms. And in that process, the state did turn blue. But with the election of Governor Youngkin, I'm feeling that our state is turning, it's maybe a good purple right now. I wouldn't say it's red because we've got that Northern Virginia factor, which, they tend to vote very, very, very blue. When I worked for the Trump administration, I lived in Northern Virginia for 3 years. Man, oh man. Oh wow, it's wild. But in any case, we're fighting hard. We're working hard to keep Virginia, maybe move it some dark purple, maroon, maybe get it, but pray for us. I know that your listenership is all over the world. I'd love to see. I see that you got
some chats up here.
I'd love to see where everybody.
I know I keep looking to the left because this is the main one. This is one more active commenting group right here.
I'd love to see where
Wimkin out there.
Okay.
It's a free speech platform, very free speech. So you
Well,
can
you
see
guys,
anything.
if you're on Facebook, I need some help with having some likes on my Facebook page. Shannon Kendrick for school board, Virginia Beach School Board.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. I got it scrolling across the bottom how to get to your webpage. In fact, I got your web pages up here. I can drag that over here and show your pages here. I took us out of the picture.
Oh, that's my raise the money. That's if you want to donate to my campaign. Yeah, I've those are just my some of my experience and my issues. If you go to shannonkendrickvb.com.
Yep, I've got that on the bottom there somewhere, I thought.
Yeah, shannonkendrickvb.com.
Oh, I don't.
On that website, you'll find my Facebook page. Please friend my Facebook page, guys. I really need to at least
friend you back.
Look like I got a lot of support.
Well, they cut back on people seeing your page, probably.
No, they haven't. That's me. That's my Facebook page. I have 802 followers, but nobody is active. Like they don't. Yeah, I need some likes, you guys. Find my page, Shannon Kendrick for Virginia Beach School Board District 4, and you'll see my raise the money. You'll see my website. But please show me some love, guys. I would really appreciate it. Yeah. I really do need the support. So yeah, I'm in a race. I've been raising some good funds. I've been getting out there. I've been talking to the pastors. I've been earning a great deal of support. Because there's 2 Democrats running in the race, I have a very good chance of taking this away.
Yeah, it'll split the vote.
Yeah, the votes are going to be split. So I need to run some ads. I need to get some more signs out. I need your prayers. But I'm doing the work. I'm getting out there. And every time I talk to people, they said, you know what? I'm voting for you. I'm a Democrat, but I'm voting for you. You care. And nobody has ever showed up for us like this. So
has there been any polling?
Huh?
Any polling in your race?
I don't know if there's any polling just yet. Oh, someone said I love Carol Swain. Yeah, Carol Swain is amazing. She's just phenomenal. Ooh, I love these comments. I cannot wait to go back and look at these comments.
Well, these are on Wimkin. WIMKIN. I'll send you a link.
Yes. Send me the link. But yes, guys, please friend my Facebook page. That would make me so happy.
There's 9 million people over on this thing, so you might want to join. So I know it shows only 15, but if I refresh it, there's 116 watching right now.
That's great.
Well, there'll be a lot more that'll see it on the rerun actually too. Every time I refresh, see there's 132 comments so far. There'll be more, I'm sure.
Well, Jerry, can I say a word to our fellow patriots for a second?
Sure.
All right, guys. So we are more than able to take this. We are here for such a time as this. As you all know, we have never been at a place like this in our country. And it is time that we all show up for each other. It is time for us to speak out and to show up at these school board meetings, support your conservatives on city council. Wherever you have a Republican or a conservative, support them, send emails, show up to the public session, whatever you can do, because let me tell you something. The liberals and the Democrats show up so much more. They are there all the time. And I don't know why, but they're there all the time, you guys. And maybe they figured it out that that's how they push their agenda forward. But y'all, there are more of us than there are of them. There are more of us, but we're busy working. We're busy raising families. We're busy, being productive in our communities. But y'all, if you're able to just go to your city's website, find out when the city council meetings are, find out when the school board sessions are, and just show up. You will put so much strength by supporting your conservative elected official, by just being there. And if there's an issue that you're passionate about, so they might give you just a few minutes to speak, but if there's public comment, Say what needs to be said. This is the time where conservatives and Republicans need to have their voice heard in the public square. It's not enough that we're on social media messaging each other. We need to show up where the decisions are being made. Let me tell you, we've got 5 core conservative Republicans that show up to almost every school board meeting, and their support, even though we might be a little outnumbered, their support puts so much wind in our sails, unlike anything you would ever believe. Yes, we're focused on what's happening at the federal level. We've got to get our president back in office. That's important. But y'all, the local level matters too. We need you to be involved locally. Your local, your city, and your state. You guys, please, please, please show up, because the government that governs closest to you affects your day-to-day lives, affects your schools, affects the business that comes to your communities, affects decisions that impact your day-to-day life. So y'all, encourage each other to show up. Yes, vote. That's important. We got to vote, but we got to show up. And I tell you, every time you show up and speak, you encourage and embolden another conservative to show up and speak. Y'all, there's more of us than there are of them. We just got to make our voices heard right now. Now is the time. Roar, lions, roar. You got to do it. And I didn't want to step up to do this. This is hard. People lie on you. They make up stuff about you. I mean, friends who you thought were your friends don't show up the way that they need to. You've got all this partisan bickering and all this. This doing what I'm doing right now, running for office, I'm going to keep it real. It sucks. This is hard work, but I'm going to copy Kamala Harris. Hard work is good work.
There you go. You haven't quite got her voice down, but
it's important to do this work. Anything worth doing is worth having, is worth fighting for. And it is important that our children have a good education that's free from all this pressure to make adult decisions. Children need to have their childhood. And I'm so sick of seeing these adult things forced on our kids.
The sexualization.
Yes, when they need to be focused on their education. Our children are competing against the entire globe now. This is a globally competitive society. There's people competing for the same jobs from all over the world. Do you think other countries are focusing on if they're misgendering a child? I mean, let's be real here, okay? Our kids, especially the kids in my district, they need to get on reading level. That's what we need to be focusing on. We need to make sure that they're strong in math so that they can be engineers. We need to make sure that they have critical thinking skills so that they can think for themselves and solve challenges in the future. I mean, we need to set our kids up for strong success. And we don't do that by having them make decisions at a young age that their minds are not even fully developed enough to make. So
some of them, it's messing them up really bad too.
Yeah, they get depressed. I mean, all these things that we're trying to talk to them about, and they're young. Their minds are too young to even deal with any of these things. Their little bodies are changing. They're trying to understand life. They're trying to learn the basic things to get on and to get along in society. And they're being forced to make decisions about sexuality that they have no business having to make. I mean, they get 18 years, 17 years to be a child, and the rest of their life, they're adults. Let them make adult decisions in their adulthood. We need to protect our children's innocence and protect our children's time of being able to be a child. I'm sick of seeing anything other than that, and I know you are too. And I need your support to do that here in the city of Virginia Beach.
Someone asked how if you need people to canvass, that kind of stuff.
I do. I need people to help me with knocking doors. I definitely need that. If you're in Virginia Beach, please sign up on the volunteer form on my website at shannonkendrickvb.com. I would love to get your support. I need somebody who's good with TikTok. I don't know anything about TikTok, but that's where the voters are. So I need someone to help with creating content that will reach people on the social media. I don't have that skill at all. If there's somebody listening to me now that can donate producing some stuff for me on TikTok and other channels and mediums where people could be, man, that would help me so much. And I have to say,
There's some over here on Lincoln that have done some really nice videos for Trump here. So maybe
if there's somebody that can help me again, that I have a form, just reach out to me through my website. That would help me a great deal. I really appreciate it, guys. Like I said, I wasn't even trying to do this. I wasn't looking at doing this. I feel God has called me to do this for such a time as this. And I just said yes. But I could do without running for office right now. Let me tell you, it's overwhelming. You never feel like you get enough done. You don't get enough sleep. There's things that I forget to do that I need to do. I'm just trying to make sure I do as best as I can. But you don't raise a lot of money in a school board race either. School board races raise the smallest amount of money. And so, I need help with the funding too. But yeah, anything y'all are able to do tonight.
Somewhere here, your phone number was on here. Oh, here it is.
Right 757-266-7716 or info@shannonkendrickvb.com if you want to email me. But all of that information is on my website. If you go to shannonkendrickvb.com.
I've got it on the screen right now.
Yeah. So yeah, y'all. I know you might not live here. You might not even live in America.
Well, I know there's some watching right now that live in Virginia. Do any of you live in your district? Tell them exactly your district. Is
okay? So Virginia Beach is so my district is District 4, and it's Virginia Beach Boulevard, Town Center. It's Newtown Road, Baker Road, Witch Duck, Aragona, Pembroke. That's Haygood. All the Bayside schools, with the exception of Bayside High, but it's the Bayside area in Town Center. That's essentially my district in all of Virginia Beach Boulevard, which is the main thoroughfare in the city.
Vixen and Gabby, do you guys know that area? I'll see if they reply here in a minute. So I know I'm bringing stuff up on the other screen.
But please reach out to me through ShannonKendrickVB.com. You can see the donate button. If you want to send $10, I can get a sign made for $3.40, $3.40, $4, $5. The little signs and the big signs, I can get the big 4x4s for $28. So don't think any.
Do you have any events coming up?
Don't think that any contribution is too small. It helps a great deal, all of it. So please prayerfully consider helping me win this race. And anything you're able to donate, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah.
I had an event tonight. I had a fundraiser hosted at a friend's home of mine. And then next Sunday, I'm having an event called, I wish I could share my screen. Can I?
Yes, try it.
I could present. Okay.
I'll have to take mine down, but yeah. Pop it up there, and then I'll take mine down and put yours up.
Share screen. Hold on. Let's see if it'll actually let me pull.
If you got more than one monitor, you can do it easily.
All right. Let me pull it up first.
Yeah. So there were some other questions, and I forgot what they were that they had up there. There was a lot of questions, actually. Maybe you can go back and read them and see what you want to say. They were talking about the vaping and stuff, too. But it's a bad thing in schools. Somebody asked, might you run for higher office someday?
I get that all the time. In fact, Congresswoman Jen Kiggins is a good friend of mine. She had asked me, Shannon, I think you should run for delegate, state delegate. And, I don't know what God has in store, but I just want to be faithful where I'm at. I'll be faithful in this. And if I don't win, maybe there's another seat that opens up. And if I do win, I finish the 2 years and then maybe I do something else. I don't know. Maybe I go back to the Trump administration. I don't know. But I love that I don't know, because that's what makes living worthwhile. You don't know what's around the river bend, right? You just take one step at a time. You got to be faithful where you are. You got to do the work where you're at, grow where you're planted. So that's what I'm set on doing. But yeah, I think I might be in higher office one day, and you got to start somewhere. But right now, this is where I want to be. I want to fight for these kids. I want to.
You got to start somewhere and work your way up. Usually.
Yeah. Can they see my screen?
Yeah. Can't you see it right now?
Yeah, the Books and Bubbly Brunch.
Yes.
Yes, that's my event. There's the QR code there. In the city of Virginia Beach. That's an event that I have coming up. It's a fundraiser. And yeah, it's going to be really fun. It's at a beautiful location, but if you hit the QR code, you'll see it. You'll get that information. So yeah, thanks so much for asking about the events. I have a debate on the 26th of September.
Oh, you have a debate. Is that something that's going to be live?
I don't know if it's going to be live or not. It's being hosted.
Is it something I can replay, or we can maybe have you come on and replay little parts of it and you talk about the different parts?
Oh, you're going to have me back?
Absolutely.
That's pretty cool.
and maybe on a panel in the future. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Man, I'd love to come back. But yeah, I hope that
well, we've been friends for quite a while. I just didn't know you were going to run for office.
You're telling me I didn't know either. I did not know either.
Actually, I didn't know you were in office actually until you just a week ago or something. You kind of decided you were definitely going to run, or what? How long ago did you decide you're going to file and run for the seat that you're appointed to?
At the end of June, I believe it was.
Oh, okay. I'm not as much on Facebook now. I'm on all the other platforms a lot more than Facebook. And so there's a whole world out there besides Facebook, to be honest.
Well, Facebook is honestly getting what it's supposed to get.
It's censored.
People are tired of being censored, and people are tired of having their freedom of speech violated. We're not stupid. Why do they think we're stupid, Jerry? We know what they're doing. Because
they can get away with it somewhat.
And you're censoring the people who you don't agree with is what you're doing. We're not dumb. Why do they think we're so dumb? I'll never understand it.
Someone asked if you've lost relationships or friendships because of being conservative.
Yeah. But I have. Especially now. Just because I'm a Republican. The Democrat friends that I have had that didn't mind that I was Republican since Trump has been in the picture. A lot of people have Trump derangement syndrome. And so, somehow I have the cootie, and they can't be my friend, or, they can't be involved with me or something stupid. And I don't have time for fake friends. And, it's just that kind of thinking that divides the country, that dehumanizes people, that allows bad things to happen to our fellow Americans because of this type of thought and division. We're all Americans. We all want the same things. We just have different philosophies about getting there and how we think we should have those things. Okay. But at the end of the day, I may not agree with you, but you're my fellow American. And let me tell you, we have real enemies, as you all know. We have real enemies. If this nation should become attacked, which there's a very good chance that it could happen before the next president gets in, because we don't even know who's running the country right now, honestly.
Biden
who's
isn't
running the country. Do you not think our enemies aren't watching and looking at this vulnerable time right now, thinking, you know what, now's the time to strike America, because they don't even have a leader.
Now, someone asked about all the illegals. Is it an issue in your area for the more kids being in the classroom from illegals being there?
Well, I have not seen it just yet, but I will tell you what I have seen in my districts. We just had back to school, and I did see a good amount of children who appeared to, not really speak English, and they seem to be Hispanic. They,
Could be anywhere though. Yeah.
Yeah. So I do see that in their parents. They don't speak English, but some of the most sweetest, I talked to the babies, and just so sweet and well mannered and so appreciative. The church was giving away tennis shoes, and the kids were just giving it to all the kids that went to the school, and these little babies were so appreciative and just so sweet. And I do believe that we are seeing
it's going to put a strain on your budgets.
Migration into our district too, and it may very well put some strain on our resources. I just haven't seen that yet. So I haven't seen it yet, but that'll be a conversation I'm sure that we will have as school board members on how to prepare and adjust or pivot, to make sure that our quality of education doesn't, get impacted, with perhaps an influx of students that can't speak English.
Well, there'll be a communication problems with the kids too, as well.
Yeah, we have a lot of teachers who are bilingual too, and who speak multiple languages, because our city is a very international city. We have NATO next to us. We have military, the largest concentration of military here. And so we have, military retirees. And so we've got a pretty good international vibe here. So I think we'd be able to handle somehow the language barriers. Now, all the other things, I'm not sure how we're going to handle that, but I have a background in finance. And so, we're going to look at them budgets and see what we can do.
Someone said there's some 60 million Christians that aren't even registered to vote. That's going on.
That's wild. That is wild. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you something, Jerry. The ladies in my church, they prayed for me. But I also noticed, I appreciate their prayers. I really do. But sometimes I invite them to come out to stuff, and they are so timid about being involved in politics. I mean, they pray. It's wild to me. All over the country, Christians pray for godly men and women to run for office. And when we do, you don't show up to support us. It's not everybody, but come on. If you pray and ask God for good, godly men and women to run for office, and when we do, you're nowhere to be found. Come on, man. It's rough.
They don't have anything to complain about if they don't get out and help,
I mean, the Lord will send a deliverer, but man, y'all got to help out a little bit.
I agree.
And it's not everywhere. It's not everywhere. But.
Oh, I hear you. I don't know how. Have you been seeing a lot of? You've been able to register a lot, like Scott Pressler has been registering hundreds.
Scott Pressler?
Yes.
Yeah, I know him. That's my friend. I've known Scott I've known Scott since 2008.
I bet you can flip that state if you got a lot of those Christian conservatives registered.
Man, Scott is really, really, really. Scott is awesome. He is really out there. He just knows how to just get in it, and he does, man. He's a good dude.
Oh yeah, he's got a good heart, and he's a walkaway. You didn't know what a walkaway was when I said that earlier. He's a walkaway. He used to be a Democrat, and that's what they call a walkaway. That ones that used to be very hardcore Democrats, and the Democrats moved so far to the left, especially with the grooming and all that kind of stuff with the kids. And that's the field you're in now, especially with the kids. It's harming the kids, and these kids won't grow up to be productive citizens in the future. So where's our country going to go besides down the tube? We're going to be third world if they aren't productive, and they think everything's going to be free money and stuff like that. They'll just print it and it'll be useless money.
Yeah, we need to be teaching our children about how government works, where tax dollars come from,
Economics, yeah.
Man.
The more a country produces, the wealthier it gets. If
Yeah.
you're not producing something, it's going downhill.
You know, we've been teaching our children for years about environmentalism and protecting our environment and saving the planet. And unfortunately, it seems like a lot of these kids, you know, think that electric everything is the way forward. But, you know, fuel is the thing that makes our country run. On our entire, every aspect of our country is tied to fossil fuel. Sorry, but it just is. And when gas prices are high, or when we're not able to produce oil the way that we need to, it's going to impact every single aspect of our economy. I mean, it's basic economics here. If it costs more money to transport a good, it's going to cost you more money at the end of the day. This is not hard.
Well, so inflation is because we're printing so much money.
All this banning of, fossil fuels, stopping the Keystone pipeline, that was stupid.
Like, it made fuel cost more. It makes everything else cost more.
That's dumb.
Everything that's transported, you need fuel for.
Independent. We must be energy independent.
That's where Trump was right.
And Trump left our country, or left the White House, left us with an energy independent model. We were one of the world's top producers in fuel, and the economy reflected that.
That's why a businessman can run the country better, I think.
I mean, how much oil do we even have in our strategic oil reserves right now, Jerry?
Oh, he sold it all.
Depleted it. And notice how the gas prices are lower now because
it's election year.
Yeah. Again, they think we're stupid.
Well, he changed the blend early. That the winter blend has already came out, and it wasn't supposed to come out until like November. The winter blend, so it's cheaper for him to make the winter blend. That's why the prices come down.
Yeah.
Biden and Harris both had something to do with that. So I gotta get you on Winkin because there's so many comments here. I can't answer them. That you'll have to see here. So that you can go back and look at. I'll send you the link, but you won't be able to reply unless you're.
Oh my gosh, some of your listeners are so particular.
Yeah.
Don't say fossil fuels. Okay, oil. There you go. She's afraid to say illegal. No, I'm not afraid to say illegal.
No. Oh,
where did someone say that from?
You read faster than I do. So, see, there's 212 here.
You know, I swear conservatives give conservatives the hardest time. You know what? You try running for office. This is hard.
Well, you got to remember she's running in the blue district. So
this is so incredibly hard to do. In fact, I don't have to do this. I am running to secure them and to keep the majority for the first time in 10 years we've had on the school board when our children are under attack. And you want to parse whether I say illegal or not, as if, I mean, I don't need to prove how conservative I am. No, I'm very conservative.
Yeah.
I mean, we need to do better. We need to do better, guys. We need to do better. We really do. Yeah. You know, what's that poem about the arena? About being in the arena? Everybody doesn't step in the arena. I'm willing to do it. And it's not an easy thing to do at all. So I have a lot of support. I'm endorsed by the Republican Party of Virginia Beach. And again, Winsome Sears, who's an incredible patriot.
Oh, I agree.
And yeah.
What's her odds of winning?
I think she can pull this off. I was just with her, and there's a picture I shared with you. I was just with her 2 days ago at a rally for Congresswoman Jen Kiggans. And she just, whenever she steps in a room, the energy, it's just, I have never seen another woman like her. And she is well respected nationwide. But she's a woman who loves God and loves our country. She served our country. I mean, she's not afraid to say what needs to be said or do what needs to be done. And she's so humble. She's humble too. She's a true servant leader. I would love
I
to
think
see
she'd make a lot of changes for the good there too.
Oh man, she wouldn't mess around. She wouldn't mess around. Mm-mm.
And she's
And
very
she's not
pro
afraid
Second
of
Amendment.
anything.
You
She's
know?
not afraid of anything. Not one thing.
Yeah, I agree. And you're a bit taller than her.
Yeah. It's so funny, right? Because
I didn't think she was short. Seeing her against near other people, but yourself, you're pretty tall.
yeah.
So they say in elections, like Lincoln won because he was taller. Some people say that somehow that matters in the debate. So I do hope you have video of your debate, because we'd like to parse it. When is the debate at? When's it supposed to happen? In case maybe I can play it live.
It's a forum. It's on September 26th. It's at the library, the Central Library, in Virginia Beach, the Myra Obendorf Library. So yeah, so it's going to be all the school board candidates, and
so it's happening in 4 days.
Yep.
Okay, is there a way I can replay it or play it live while it's happening?
I'm not sure. It's on the Hampton Roads Black Caucus Facebook page.
Oh, okay. I might be able to pick that up and play it if you want me to.
Yeah, that's an organization that I actually started here in Hampton Roads. Mm-hmm. It's nonpartisan, and we have membership from all walks of life. I was just so sick of hearing people say that white people, Republicans, don't care about the Black community. And I just, wanted to create an organization that proved that everybody cares about the Black community. The Democrats don't have a monopoly on the Black community. Like, no.
Once every 4 years, they care.
Right. So, I just I'm destroying a lot of the
stereotypes,
the myths, the stereotypes, the lies. Like I said, I've been a Republican since 2004. And I was raised in the Democrat family. The first time I voted, I voted as a Democrat. I moved to Tulsa, Oklahoma. I put myself through college at Oral Roberts University. And I remember when I moved to Oklahoma, I needed to register to vote because I had lived in Ohio. And I realized, I was asking questions. We had a government awareness ministry at our church, which patriots who are watching, if you go to church, think about starting a government awareness ministry at your church where you help to register your people who go to your church. You help them to know about what's coming up on the ballot. You can provide sample ballots for them to see, help them to know when there's a pro-life alert or something like that. And that's what happened at my church. And I registered there, and I asked those people who were there every Sunday, I said, tell me about the Republican Party and tell me about the Democrat Party. And as they were telling me about the Republican Party, I was like, I think I'm Republican. So in 2004.
Was that tough for your family?
Well, I called my mom and I called my dad, and they were both like, what? So my parents still, are Democrat, but I got my mom to vote for Bush once. And my dad, I think that he is really understanding what me and my sister have been trying to tell him, especially this go rounds. But my sister and I are strong conservatives in our family. And it's really hard to be a Black conservative, a Black Republican in our country. And I imagine it's not exactly as easy for the Jewish community as well. It seems as if, being a Democrat is part of your race, and it's part of your racial identity. And when you are not that, the Black community becomes so offended that you're not a Democrat, and they think that somehow because you're not a Democrat, you somehow hate your race because Republicans are racist.
Yeah, all they do is, have you ever been called a racist since then?
I had some liberal try to talk to me about race and racism, and I forget what it was they said, but in this election, yeah, someone said that I don't support diversity. She doesn't support diversity, and it's like, I don't support diversity as a Black woman. Are you crazy? Get out of my face. You sound stupid.
We had a Karen in your face then. Huh?
Get out of my face. How dumb do you sound?
Now you've been doing some door-to-door stuff, canvassing.
Yeah, I've done.
How's that going? Have they been receptive?
I've done some canvassing. Oh yeah, when I talk to people, they love what I have to say. They want my yard sign, and yeah, it's just a lot of love. It's really good because again, they know, they care. They don't care about what you know. They want to know how much you care. They want to know if you care, and that goes for any Republican that is running in an office and they're trying to win votes in any community that's not Republican. If you show up, for my congressman that I worked for, we secured so much of the Filipino vote, the Black vote, Democrat vote. We won so much of our district that the Democrats stopped running candidates against us because we did the outreach. We showed up. It's about showing up. And I'm going to show up. And my opponent is stealing my signs. I shouldn't say my opponent's stealing my signs because I don't know for sure. But I just know where I have had signs, suddenly her signs are there. And so you got to be so desperate. You got to be so desperate to do that. You know, if this is your district and everybody votes blue, no matter who, then why am I such a threat? Because I'm the real deal. That's why, girlfriend. And I'm about to take this district, and you're about to.
Do you ever have any of them get triggered or mad at you or anything like that?
No, I haven't had anybody.
Oh, I've seen that happen to some people.
Triggered or mad at me during this election. Some people come to the school board and say nasty things to us on the dais.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one guy came and talked about how I don't have children, and I forgot what he said. It was so rude. It was so nasty and it was so rude. And I don't like holding on to negative stuff. So I forgot what he said.
Yeah.
But
in general, he wasn't happy, huh?
No, but it's like, you're supposed to be a liberal. Why are you trying to, insult me for not having children? Like, isn't it my body, my choice? I said that around the vaccine conversation too. Ain't it my body, my choice?
Yeah.
I won't go there, but
they don't like using their own stuff.
But I was definitely asking that question in that season. Like, how funny is it when it comes to destroying a fetus, it's your body, your choice. But if we don't want to take the vaccine, it's not our body, our choice. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, people have asked if you are married. Ooh, do I have some suitors?
Not on weekend. This is on some of the other platforms. But yeah.
No, I'm not married. Nope. I'm not married. I would like to be married, but it is, I gotta have a conservative. I need to be with the man.
I didn't know if you wanted to answer that. That's why
he shares my values. That is so important. I'm a conservative through and through, and some guys, yeah, it's all good.
So, time-wise, to get this on some platforms, I should end it here, but I'd love to have you come back.
I'd love to come back. I really enjoyed talking with
everyone. I'm going to send you the link to Wink, and I'd like you to join and friend me there, and you can go down and answer some of these, so different opinions there somewhat, no one terrible, but maybe you can respond to them if you wish. I know you're crazy busy though, or maybe you'll know for the next time.
I am super busy, but anybody that would want to connect with me, help me with the social media.
I know some of them are from Virginia, so maybe that would help.
Yeah, and I need the help with the social media stuff too.
Well, if you want me to make some videos, if I have a little time, I can work on them, and record them and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, or anything, anybody that might want to send me some information, some stats or anything they think that would be useful to help me with, you know, running or whatever God puts on your heart, whatever's put on your heart to help me with.
I will replay this on Facebook, so you'll probably get some that way, and I'll tag you on that. I'll play it tomorrow night. So it's right now it's not live on Facebook, but it will be tomorrow. It'll be replayed. So I can only go to so many platforms at a time. It costs me enough money already.
Well, I appreciate everything that you're doing, Jerry,
Yeah.
and you
Love
know,
to see you get elected and get more conservative blacks and of all races. I don't care what race you are, really. It don't matter to me. Get elected. I just want you to be family first, pro American. That's what I really want more than anything. But I think that includes everybody, though. I don't think it's any particular race, you know, so, or religion, actually. So,
well, we have the right ideas, Jerry. Conservatives have the right ideas. There's a lot of challenges that we're facing in our country right now, and we really need to get our conservative values and principles out in the public square. We have a lot of work to do to turn this country around for our children's future. I don't have kids. I probably won't have kids, but I care about all of our children. And I know you do too. And so the work that we're doing today, the stand that we're taking today, the arms that we're locking together, stepping and moving and advancing our conservative cause forward is for the children of tomorrow. It's for the future generations. We got to save our country. Our country's in trouble. It is in trouble, and we know it. So we got to work together. We got to speak up. We got to work together, and we can do this. We can do this. And, you know, maybe someone somewhere and down the line in the future, someone will ask you, when this was going on in the country, what did you do? And I know what I could say I did. I went on the school board and I fought. I did something. I showed up. I ran for office. I supported candidates who were running for office.
Not only passing good things, you can stop bad things from going through by being there.
You got to. And I think we're all going to be put in a position to help make an impact in our sphere of influence. And we can do this, guys. This is our time. We can do this. So let's do it. Let's do it.
I agree. Someone I highlighted in blue. I was wondering if you wanted to comment on that.
Shannon, you're too strong for weak men. So if you can't find one strong enough, stay single. Don't compromise. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you, Dennis.
I thought you'd agree with that.
I know. Someone said she's 45. Yeah, I'm 45. Can you believe it? I know I don't look it. But makeup is great.
You do not.
Makeup is great.
Yeah, and all that. Okay.
Yeah, I'm on a mission. Man, I gotta help. I gotta help our country. I gotta help my city. I gotta help my city. I gotta help Winsome. I'm helping her too. I gotta help her. Like, you know, if I'm meant to be married, I will be, but that's not my focus right now. My focus is we're at war, y'all. So I've got my battle gear on. I hope you guys got yours on too. If you guys want to help me in the fight that I'm currently on, the battlefront that I'm currently fighting, send me some ammunition. Shannon,
there you go. And some help. And some help in Virginia there. Because I know some of these people are from Virginia. So I know some of them. I talk to them regularly. Okay. I'm going to have to let you go. Hang on, though. I'm going to end it, but hang on for a minute. Okay?
Okay.
All right.